All right. So just going to take you a little bit through what we're doing with the drums here. I already tore down the room mics. We just finished the drums, basically. Instead of my usual Sennheiser E604s on the toms, I got a new set of MD421s, the classic tom mic. We're going for that classic metal sound anyway. And yeah, they've worked out fantastic. Not going to need very much post-processing to get a good sound out of them, that's for sure. A little EQ or a little compression. I'm just finding I'm not having to shove the low frequencies like I normally would with a D604. So they're working out great. You know. And notice the mics are backed off a fair amount from the center of the drum, so the drummer doesn't hit them. Okay, little safety first tip there, kids. Anyway, on the kick we got the Audix D6, absolutely fantastic mic. If you don't have one, get one. It is just absolutely amazing. Fantastic mic. Again, does not need much EQ to get a good sound out of it. And on the snare, I'm kind of breaking a few rules here. If you can see, we've got a Studio Project C1 condenser, large diaphragm on top, coupled with a Shure SM57, the standard tom mic, or snare mic, excuse me. It's an Evans Genera dry head with a dry vents, and we've got some moon gels on top as well, just to kill a lot of the secondary ring. Underneath the snare, we're also running an SM57, just right down here. Can you get that? And over on the kicks, yeah, of course we're running plastic beaters with Fell and Slam by Remo. Those things are great way to get a good kick sound. So there you go. Again, just needs very little EQ. Just finding on the snare, yeah, we're getting a pretty interesting blend between the dynamic and the condenser. The only trick is, you know, you have to be able to get the condenser in at the right angle, and it's just a huge mic with a huge shock mount, and it's a real pain in the ass. If I had a second bass drum here, I don't think I'd be able to do it. So there we go. Yeah, the only other oddball mic here is we've got an ATM25 on the floor tom, just to capture the extreme subsonics as opposed to the 421s, which won't. And of course on the overheads, we've got my trusty Octave MK, whatever the fuck they are. MC012s, yeah, these are a few years older. They're a stereo match set. Good stuff. I love these mics. Pretty much use them on every project I've ever done. On the room, we were running a Rode NTK and an NT1 as well, just in a stereo XY pattern. I've tried a space pair on the room, and it just gets a little too weird with phasing issues. So I've decided to go XY, and to be honest, it gives you it's a tighter image, and it seems to work a little bit better as a room mic anyway. But we're definitely going on the overheads, the spaced pair for the larger than life sound. So there you go. That's the drum setup. For bass tones, you know, we've been using Josh's really fucking cool Ernie Vol Music Man sub bass. Oh, sorry about that, dude. Fucking, this is that one heavy ass bass. Yeah, it's got a lot of fucking mass behind it. But we've been splitting the signal. Basically, we've been going straight direct, and then through one of these. This is a Tech 21 bass Sans Am. If you don't have one of these and you want to record bass, get one of these. These are fantastic. You're gonna wind up. This is one of the few things you're gonna wind up using on every single project you ever did. What we also did is we also split up the signal to Josh's bass rig. We've got, what are those, 4x10s, Josh?
Yep.
Yeah. Got a Gallion-Kruger 4x10 rig and a Gallion-Kruger 100 RB bass amp. Just killer stuff. So we've been using Gallion-Kruger for the extreme lows. As you can see, you know, we got a 4x10 and then a horn. We've just mic'd the 10-inch speakers to get a really, really low growling sound out of the bass. And we use the Sans amp for the mids and the top end. So it's a really interesting split. And for mic, we're using my Rode NTK tube mic, which just seemed to be a match made in heaven. Yeah, one point worth mentioning, I pulled the cap off my NTK the other day and realized I had a Philips 6922 tube in there, which actually goes for a pretty penny these days. So yeah, if you got an NTK and you're not sure what you got in there, you know, you just might have something really cool in there. It might be a lot better mic than you think it is. Yeah, and the other thing to realize is if you pull your if you pull your case off your NTK and you find you got a cool vintage tube in there, is don't believe everything you read on gear sluts.
Contrary to what they're saying in the guitar magazines and a lot of the printed press and that sort of thing, most of it's total bullshit. You're not going to get a better sound by switching amps or whatnot. I mean, like, okay, yeah, there's going to be a pretty big difference between, say, a Line 6 Spider and a 5150. One's going to suck and one's not going to take a guess which one. But when you get into a high quality tube amp, you're just going to get basically variations on a theme, not necessarily huge differences of tone. I mean, like, the only amp I can really think of right off the top of my head that's got a very, very different kind of sound is like a Crank Revolution or a Frankenstein or something like that. But 5150 rectifier, they're just very, very subtle shades between the two. So when they start talking about gear and quote unquote signature sounds and whatnot, the thing that they really fail to say is that the sound is in the hands and not the equipment. So just keep that in mind.